Hey, what's going on everyone, this is iReviews back with another video, and iOS 13 is finally here. It brings a ton of new features and improvements to iOS, so in this video I will do a full review of the new iOS 13, showing you guys more than 200 new features and changes of iOS 13. Starting with the most anticipated feature of iOS, the dark mode. Finally, dark mode is on iOS and you can go ahead and enable it by going to settings, go to display and brightness, and here we'll have the dark mode, and as you can see it looks truly awesome. And another change we have been expecting for a long time is a new volume hood, and it's finally here with iOS 13. As you can see, it looks totally different. It also works totally different, like you can tap on it and you can go ahead and swipe your finger up or down to turn up or down the volume of your device. It also gives you haptic feedback once you turn up or down the volume all the way. And there you can see it says speaker right there. It will show you in which device you're playing the sound. So if you have a Bluetooth device connected, it will show the name right there. Also, the ringer volume hood has been redesigned. As you can see it right there, this also looks totally different. And now it also has another feature. Even if your device is on silent mode, you can still adjust the ringer volume. On the home screen there are a few changes. Now on the dock you can see if you go ahead and remove one of the icons from the dock, it won't just place all the icons in the middle, but it will space them out. You can see this looks totally different and much better. Also, the force touch devices are gone now with the new iOS 13. Apple has removed all of that and now it has replaced it with the haptic touch or 3D touch, whatever you want to call it. And now on iOS 13 you can see the menus have been totally redesigned as well. And now you will have also a new button right there that says rearrange apps. Now if you tap on it, it will take you to this edit mode, of course, where you can delete any of your apps or rearrange them. There is a new way also to get into that mode, simply by force touching and swiping one of your apps just like this, and you will directly go to the rearrange mode, as easy as that. There are also a few changes here on the widgets panel. Now you can see they have been redesigned. They look much better and cleaner. Also, you will see this arrow which replaces the show more button. The edit button has also changed, and you can see here a new icon for the controllers that you have connected to your device. Now if you want to add a widget to the widgets panel, you can do that from the 3D touch menu. You can see add widget right there. You will see that nice animation, and as easy as that, you can add any widget to the widgets panel. You will also notice some new icons here. The reminders icon has been redesigned, as well as the contacts icon has also been redesigned a bit. And there is also a new app called Find My. This is a new app that has been added on iOS 13. So this is a combination of Find My Friends and Find My iPhone. Big new feature on iOS 13 is also voice control, which can be enabled by going to settings, go to accessibility, and right here you will find voice control, and you can enable it from here, and it allows you to basically control your iPhone using your voice. And as you can see at the top right there, there is a new icon for the voice control that will appear right there on the status bar. We have also a few changes here on the control center. Now Apple has added some really nice features. Now first of all, on previous iOS versions, when you want to 3D touch on a menu to pop it up, you had to tap in the middle. With iOS 13, you can just force touch anywhere on the icon right there. Now on Wi-Fi and also Bluetooth, here are some really nice features. You can force touch on one of them and it will show you the list of your networks or the Bluetooth devices that you have. You can go ahead and see your devices here. You can connect to one of them, or you can go ahead and tap on one of them to disconnect, just like that. Or if you tap right here, it will take you to the settings of the Bluetooth or Wi-Fi directly from the control center. That's really nice to have. So on the control center right here, if you tap the brightness bar, you will have a switch here to go to the dark mode. So enable or disable the dark mode directly from here. On the volume slider, you can see right there at the top, it will show you the device in which it's playing the sound. So when you control the sound, you know in which device you're doing it. Also, you can enable or disable the dark mode directly from the control center with this new toggle that you can add from the settings of the control center. There are of course some other changes on the control center. There is a new icon for the QR code here on the voice memos. If you force touch, you will see like these new icons as well on the camera app. So if you force touch here, you will see some new icons as well. The hearing here, the icon has also been redesigned, as well as the UI here for the magnifier has been redesigned as well. So that's new with iOS 13 on the control center. Now on iOS 13, there are new gestures, like you can pinch in like this to copy a text. You can see right there it will say copy, or you can go ahead and pinch out like this to paste that text. You can swipe left with 3 fingers to undo, or swipe right with 3 fingers to redo, or you can tap with 3 fingers like this and it will show you this menu where you will have all those like actions like a cut, copy, or paste. If you're searching for something on the Spotlight search on iOS 13, you will have now the ability to ask Siri. So you're searching on the Spotlight, you want to ask Siri, you can do that directly from there. If you enable the location services, you will see on the status bar the location services icon has been redesigned, now is much smaller. If you have enabled dictation on your iOS 13 device, you will notice that on any search bar that you go, you will see that little mic right there that allows you to go ahead and dictate directly from any search bar. A very big new feature on iOS 13 is the ability to quickly scroll by tapping and holding the scroll bar right here, and just swipe up and down and you can easily scroll on any page. If you have enabled dictation on your iOS 13 device, you will see the icon right there has been redesigned. Also, the keyboard icon right here has been redesigned as well. Also, a little change right here, the check mark has been redesigned everywhere on iOS system-wide. You will see a redesigned check mark. And something really nice is the support for PS4 and Xbox One S controllers for the iPhone on iOS 13. Of course, iPhone or iPad, you can now connect your controllers and play your games on your iOS device. Now let's move on to the apps and see what changes we can find within the apps. So on the iMessage app, you will see right here that blue button that's new to start a new iMessage right there. And of course the ellipsis right there replaces the edit button. Now if you tap on it, you will find like a list here. You will have manage messages list, that's new as well. And of course edit name and photo right there, can go ahead and enter your name and your picture and create like a profile for your iMessage. On the iMessage app, you will also find new customization options for the Memoji. So you will have like new hairstyles. You can now just add one AirPod to the ear and all that stuff. So that's new with Memoji on iOS 13. And now of course we also have the new Memoji stickers. So if you go to your emojis, you can swipe here and you will have your Memoji stickers right here. So you can see you can have stickers out of your Memoji or the other emojis right here that can be found on iOS 13. The Photos app on iOS 13 has also been totally revamped. Now on iOS 13 you will see new tabs right here. So you will have photos, for you, albums, and the search bar. On the photos sections, here's where you will find all your pictures. So you will have years, months, and days, and all photos. Right here you can pinch in and out to zoom like this, or you can use the plus and minus button right there at the top. And as you can see, you will see also a new select button right there. Now on the albums, here's where things change. Now you won't find the camera roll anymore here. You will find recents, that replacing the camera roll on the Photos app. So basically camera roll is gone and now you will find just recent, but all the photos will be right there. Also, let's go back to the section right here. Now if you have like a video here, once you're scrolling up and down here your photos, they will autoplay once you're scrolling here. There are new editing options for your photos on iOS 13. So you will see right here, you will have all these editing options right here that are really awesome. And of course you will have also new crop options. You can also flip your pictures just like this, as easy as that. And then of course right here you can adjust like the perspective and all that directly from here. So all that is new with iOS 13. Now if you're taking a look at a picture on an album and you want to see where that picture is on the All Photos album, all you gotta do is just swipe up and it will give you that option. You want to share a picture, when you tap to share, now you will get the options right here. So if you tap right there, you can choose to include or not include all photos data. Now if you're searching for something on the new Photos apps, now you can combine search terms, like you can search cars and roads or something like that, like sea or mountains, something like that. You don't have just to put one word, you can put multiple words on the search. The Safari app is where you will find the most new features on any app. You will see right here the home has been redesigned as well. You will have the download manager at the top where you will see all your downloads. You can clear it directly from there, or you want to look it up, you want to look up any of your downloads, you can just tap that little icon right there. You will see here on the home, it will suggest websites. So you get like a website on a message on iMessage or something, you will get that suggested right here. That's really awesome. Now if you go to the private mode, you will notice here something will change. The top right there will be black, so the search bar will be black, and you will get this little notice right there. Also, you will see all the icons that are blue will be black on the private mode, as well as the download manager right there at the top. There are a ton of new features here as well. When you're browsing a website, you can tap those letters right there and it will give you a few options. Right here you can zoom in and out on a web page, so you can make it smaller or bigger. You can go back there and you can hide the toolbar. Now if you tap right there, you will see it will hide the toolbar and will just basically put Safari on this like full screen mode. And lower here you can also request the desktop side, and you can go to website settings right there and you can change the settings to your preferences, of course. Now that also works like with gestures. You don't have to go to the menu to go to the full screen mode. You can just swipe up right there and as you can see, it will go to the full screen mode. Now on a website that supports reader view, you can only force touch right there and it will go automatically to the reader view. You don't have to go to the menu, just force touch on those letters. Now if you have a few tabs open on Safari and you want to bookmark all of them, all you gotta do is just tap and hold the bookmark button, and as you can see from here, you can bookmark the whole tabs. If you do that, of course, they will be saved on a folder just like this. So you can tap right there and you can go ahead and open all the tabs that are on that folder. So open a new tabs right there and it will open all of them at the same time. On Safari in iOS 13, when you go to the reader view, you will see that the names here of the font replicate the font that it will apply to the web page. Now previously there used to be one font and just the name would change, but now it replicates the font that it uses. When you go to the share menu, you will see that there is no PDF option on iOS 13. That has been removed and has been replaced with markup. So once you tap markup right there, it will basically give you the same option. Tap done and you can go ahead and save that PDF to your files. Now if you want to go ahead and open a website and you already have it opened on another tab, it will give you that suggestion. So you can see right here it says switch to tab, and I can go ahead and quickly move to that option. On the front page right here, we'll of course have the ability to peek at a website using the new haptic touch. Right there you can see from the bookmarks or the favorites that you have here, you can go ahead and peek into that website. If you open a website that supports dark mode like Mac Stories right here, you will see that once I enable the dark mode on my device, it will also enable it on that website. On Safari in iOS 13, when you go to clear the history, you can see all the letters here are red. They used to be blue before. There are a few new changes on the music app as well. The player here has been redesigned and now it also shows you lyrics for the songs that they're available to. So you will see that little button right there. That's the one that shows you lyrics. Unfortunately, these songs don't have lyrics right now. Also, you will have a new redesigned AirPlay button, and right there, if you're playing the music on another device like a Bluetooth device, it will show you underneath the name of that Bluetooth device. We also have a new options menu. So if you go right there, you can see this is totally redesigned, and you can go ahead and also edit these actions right here, and you can enable or disable any of them right here, and you can also go ahead and add them to your favorites so you can quickly access the options that you need the most. And also you will have a redesigned queue page right here, and of course you can also go ahead and rearrange them directly from here. There are a few new changes on the App Store as well. Now you will find all your updates right there on your profile page, and there is a new arcade button right there which shows the new section of the Apple that Apple has added the arcade section of the App Store. That's new as well. And you can notice right here on the search bar, it will show you a few names right there that suggest you the apps or something that you basically want to search for. Now, if you go to search an app, and you will see right there that app also is supported on the Apple Watch, it will show you that little glyph right there of the Apple Watch. If you go to your profile, right here we'll find all of the apps that you have to update. All the updates will be found right here, so the available ones and also the recently updated ones. Now you can go ahead and also delete apps directly from here. Just swipe like this, and from the App Store you can delete any of your apps. Now if you want to dismiss this, of course you can drag it down, or you can click done, or you can use this gesture just like that to quickly dismiss that page. The timer has been redesigned on iOS 13, so you will notice right here, if you start the timer, this has completely been redesigned, and it also shows you right here the time when it will end. On the phone app on iOS 13, if you're searching for any of your contacts and you have your emergency contact, it will show you that little icon right there that indicates that that's your emergency contact. The call screen on iOS 13 has now larger and updated glyphs, so all those icons are a bit larger and they have been also a bit redesigned. You can now also edit the contacts picture, so if you go right there, you can go to edit and you can see you can add any of your animojis as a contact picture, or you can basically choose one of them. You can edit it from here, and you can also add like different filters to the contacts picture. On the Files app, you will see a new media player right here, so this has been completely redesigned. With iOS 13 and the new download manager, of course, you will have a new downloads folder right there on the Files app. Now the Files app also supports zip and unzip, and also the APFS. From the Files app, you can go ahead and quickly tap right there, and you can also scan any document that you want as easy as that using the new Files app. You can of course go ahead and connect to servers directly from here, or you can tap edit and you can go ahead and enable or disable, basically manage any of the download locations. The screenshot screen has also been redesigned, so when you take a screenshot, you will see a totally new design right here. You now also have the ability to take full page screenshots, so you can see if you're on a website just like this, you can take a screenshot of the complete website. That's really awesome. And now it also gives you the option to save the screenshot to your files, or if you take a full page screenshot, you can save that as a PDF to your files. Now if you take more than one screenshot, you don't have to delete all of them. So you don't want to keep all of them, you can delete them one by one. So you don't have to delete all of them, just like you used to have on iOS 12. There are new changes on the keyboard as well. Now you finally will have the slide to type feature on your keyboard, and you will be able to enable it by going to settings, go to general, go to keyboard, and here we'll have slide to type. This is the new feature. Also, this one is really important, delete slide to type by word. So if you tap a word by mistake, it will delete the complete word, not just letter by letter. And the keyboard on iOS 13 now has a dedicated emoji button, which you can use to quickly move to your emojis. There are also 38 new languages, and of course you will also get the new fonts feature. Once they're available on the App Store, you will be able to get fonts. So you go to settings, go to general, and you will find the font section right here. Now you can tap to open the App Store, but it won't show anything, it just shows you the App Store for now. The Mail app also has a ton of new features, like you can 3D touch on an email and you will get here all these options. You can see how cool this looks. You can go ahead and quickly reply from here, forward or mute, or do anything from there. As you can see, there is a new feature as well, mute. You can go ahead and mute any of the conversations. You can also go ahead and block any of your contacts directly from here. So from the mail, you can go ahead and block any contacts that you don't want to send your emails. Also, when typing an email, you will see right there at the top, there is a new send button. It's much bigger and looks much better. You will also get this menu. If you tap on the arrow right there, you can now attach pictures directly from here. Of course, you can go ahead and change the format of your font right here. You can do anything you want, so you will have a ton of new options with the new Mail app on iOS 13. The Reminders app on iOS 13 is totally new, has been totally redesigned, as you can see it right here. Now you can quickly go ahead and add like a time or a place right here on one of your reminders. As you can see, it will give you that suggestion right there, and you can quickly add like tomorrow, let's say. It will quickly allow you to add the time to your reminders. You can do the same there with the location. Also, if someone sends you a message like, for example, pick me up tomorrow, it will show you right here a Siri suggestion to add that as a reminder. On the Maps app on iOS 13, we have this new feature called Look Around. This is truly awesome. So this is now available in just a few cities, but hopefully it will be available in more cities very soon. This is truly awesome. As you can see, you can go ahead and basically walk on the streets. You can look around anything that you want in these cities that offer this kind of feature. You will also have now the new favorite section on the Maps app, as well as your collection right here. On the Books app, you will find a new feature called Reading Goals. You can see right here, you can set your reading goals and you can start them directly from here. The Shortcuts app now comes pre-installed with iOS 13. There's also a redesign on the shortcuts. They look much different now. They have like new colors, and you will also get automations, but that will be part of iOS 13.1. Now, if you're creating a shortcut and you go to the apps section, you will see this looks totally different now on iOS 13. And with iOS 13 on the shortcuts, you will also have an option here to create a shortcut to switch to the dark mode. On the Health app, you will see a new summary view right here. This looks really awesome. You will have your highlights here as well. And now this section right here, this is the Browse section. That's new as well with iOS 13. And you will have your new profile page here on iOS 13 in the new Health app. Some of the biggest changes on iOS 13 have been made on the share sheet. Now, if you go like, for example, to share a web page, you will get the options right here. So you can share that web page as a PDF or as a web archive, or you can choose just automatic. And you will also get like share suggestions. So if you have like iMessages, it will give you the suggestion that you can share it with that person that you've been sending iMessages with. And then lower here, if you go, you will see the totally redesigned section right here of the share sheet. You will get like your favorites at the top, then you have the other options. Now if you go right here, we'll see edit actions. If you go right there, you will have the ability to rearrange your favorites. You can of course go ahead and remove any of your favorites, or you can go ahead and add your favorites right there, so you can easier go ahead and have access to them by having them at the top of the share sheet. There are also new changes with Siri on iOS 13. Now Siri has a new voice and also an Indian English accent. The Stocks app has also been redesigned. You will see a totally redesigned interface right there, and also a new edit button at the top. Changes have also been made right here on the Podcast app. Now you will have a new player right here that has been redesigned. Of course, you will also get a new splash screen once you open the Podcast app for the first time. And also now, if you're playing videos right here and you get out of the Podcast app, it will still play the sound in the background. Now let's move on to the Settings app and see some of the new settings on iOS 13. This is on the cellular data section, low data mode. So if you enable this, it will help your apps consume less data. You will have another option just like this with the Wi-Fi networks as well. If you go to the Control Center settings, you will have now a new option right here to add a toggle which allows you to turn on or off the dark mode directly from the Control Center. The screen time on iOS 13 allows you to add combined app limits. So if you go ahead and add an app limit, you will be able to add like 2 or more apps at the same. So you can see here Asphalt 8 and Mail. So you can add limit, or you can go ahead and add like same apps to the same limit. That's as easy as that with iOS 13. So tap add limit right there. Now if I want to go ahead and add another app here, I can edit the list and I can go ahead and add another app right there, and that will create a combined limit. And now the screen time app limits on iOS 13 also have a new option to ask for 1 more minute once the limit is reached. On the display and brightness section on iOS 13, you will have the option to switch between the light and the dark mode. Lower here you have another option to choose automatic, so it will automatically switch between the light and the dark mode. So if you go right here, you can go ahead and choose between two options. You can choose sunset to sunrise, so that will do it automatically based on the weather app, or you can choose a custom schedule and you can set it right here. Also lower here you will find bold text. Now if you enable bold text on your iOS 13 device, it will switch to the bold text without having to reboot your device. There is a new accessibility section on the settings app of iOS 13. Now if you go here, you will have some new options. We have the new zoom on iOS 13, which can be enabled from here. Now you will have to enable it by using your 3 fingers, and as you can see, you can zoom in and out the complete screen just like this. And right here at the bottom, you will have another option to set the maximum zoom level. Going back from here, we'll have the new display and text size. Right here, we'll also find the auto brightness section. If you go back, you will also have the touch section. If you go here, you will find the reachability, also the assistive touch, and the new menu right here, 3D and haptic touch. If you go here, you can enable the 3D touch, and also you can set the 3D touch sensitivity from here, and also the touch duration. You can use fast or slow. If you go to accessibility and you go to the new motion section, here's where you will find reduce motion. Under the new accessibility section, you will also find the voice control. If you go here, you can enable the voice control on iOS 13. On the wallpaper section, you will find here a new feature, dark appearance dims wallpaper. What this does is that when you enable the dark mode, it will also add like a dark shade to the wallpaper to make it fit more to the dark mode. There are also new still wallpapers on iOS 13, and as you will see right here, we have these wallpapers that have like the dark and the light mode as well. Also, when setting a new wallpaper, you will have a new interface with iOS 13. Also, new dynamic wallpapers have been added. Basically, they have been tweaked with different colors and that stuff, so you can see them right here. Finally, Apple has updated these wallpapers that basically no one uses. Under the battery section on iOS 13, you can find the new optimized battery charging. Now, I will do a detailed video on that, so make sure you follow my channel for that video. Under the privacy section, you will find now a new icon for motion and fitness. On the iTunes and App Store section, now you can remove the 200 megabytes limits for the apps and updates downloads over the cellular data. On the mail app settings, you can enable or disable cellular data now directly from here. You can change the language as well. Scrolling down here, you can also include attachments on replies right there. That's a new option on iOS 13, and also you can choose to ignore blocked senders. This is a new feature also with iOS 13, so block senders option, you can go ahead and just move them to trash or mark as blocked and leave in inbox. On the notes settings, you can also change the language for the app right there, and you can go to sort checked items and you can choose to do that automatically or manually. On the reminder section, also you have the language, and then you have here today's notification. You can enable it right there, and show as overdue can now be enabled from here. On the Safari settings, you can of course change the language of Safari right there. Lower here we'll have your downloads. You can choose where you want to save your downloads. Lower here you can remove the downloads after 1 day upon successful download, or you can choose to do that manually. Then you will have also the same for the tabs. You can choose to close tabs manually or automatically. Now lower here on Safari, you will have the website settings. You can go to page zoom and you will have your pages right here, and you can choose the zoom for any of those pages, and then they will load by default on that zoom. You have the same here for the request desktop site, so you enable the desktop site on one of your pages and then it will load there by default. You will also have here the reader view. You can do the same for your websites. You can choose that for all the websites. On the photo settings, you can go ahead and enable autoplay videos and live pictures. That will autoplay them when you're taking a look at them on the home page of the Photos app, on the Photos section. On the books section right here, you will find the reading goals, and you can go ahead and enable or disable them, and you will have an option here to include PDFs on the reading goals, and then you have another option to clear the reading goals data. On the location services, now you will have the option to set it at ask next time. So every time an app wants to use your location, it will have to ask you. Though a few new changes with Face ID as well, it is much faster now. It also gives you a haptic feedback when it's successful. Also, there's a new feature called attention, which will basically, when you're taking a FaceTime call, it will make you look like you're looking straight into the camera even if you're not. So that's basically it for this video, guys. These are more than 200 new features and changes on iOS 13. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, go ahead, leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.